What's going on YouTube? This is Daniel J and you're watching JayeSpotTV. I'm coming to you with some views and opinions about this whole Kony 2012 thing that's been going on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter about a video that Jason Russell did in regards to an Ugandan tyrant, basically, by the name of Joseph Kony. And he talks about, in this 30-minute video that you can find on YouTube under Kony 2012, I believe, he talks about this whole crises that's happening in northern Uganda, or that happened in northern Uganda, where a man by the name of Joseph Kony, like I said, was taking young boys, turning them into soldiers, having them kill their families, was taking in small girls and raping them, using them as sex slaves. And he did this video and created this campaign called Kony 2012. And the idea of this campaign was, since he has done this video and since he has created this nonprofit called Invisible Children, and all these teens and young adults from around the world got together to celebritize Kony, the initiative now is to capture him and to arrest him by linking up with sending U.S. troops over to link up with Ugandan militia so that they're able to find him. Word is that he is no longer in Uganda, that he has now moved to, I believe, southern Sudan and other parts of Africa. And I wanted to talk about the issue because one of the things, I think that Invisible Children, I think that Jason Russell, this whole campaign, I think it's a wonderful campaign. I think to have one man go in and to get people geeked up and to inspire people, that's the word I'm looking for, to inspire groups of people all around the world to get together and to take this initiative by storm, I think is amazing. The media coverage that it's been getting, the news coverage that it's been getting, I think it's just awesome. But one of the things that bugs me about this type of campaign, not necessarily this campaign in particular, but this type of campaign, is that America always wants to go into somebody else's house, into somebody else's government, and basically put the S on our chest and say, we have the power and the resources, and we're the only power that you're going to get to be able to do what it is that you've not been able to do just yet. And I think a lot of people that are in Uganda, that are on the government side, even so on the layman side, it can come across very pompous. It can come across like just very narcissistic. And another issue that I have with that is, my pastor says all the time, if it ain't working at home, it ain't working. And we have so many things going on in the U.S., governmentally, federally, just within our own cities and urban cities, that get ignored. Issues that are for us living here, that are very huge issues, economic crises that we have going on, is obliterating most of us that are out here busting our butts to try to work and feed our families. Our economic issue right now is tremendous, but yet there's no campaign for that, at least not one that is global. We have, people that, young men and women that are dying, that are getting shot by police, that are getting brutalized by police, men and women. We have people that are getting shot up just because they're playing in their front yards. And yet these issues, most of which, by the way, are in what society or what the media would like to call urban areas, these are issues that are very real to us. And America won't find the zeal, won't find the gumption, won't find the type of if I'm going to create a term, can't find the geekness to do what they're doing for Uganda. And that bugs me. There was a video I was watching in response to the Kony 2012 30-minute video that Jason Russell did from a woman from Uganda, and she basically says the same thing. She says that it's very insulting that America wants to come in and basically say, we have the means to do your job. And she says, it's very offensive to her because she feels like you're telling her that her government isn't enough, that the initiatives that her government have put into effect aren't enough, that the things happening on the ground right now aren't enough, that our celebrities and our people are the only ones with the answers, when there are other people in Uganda that have done tremendous things to subside this particular issue. And she also says that the one thing about the video that she did not like was that the video doesn't really look at the issue as it is right now. It looks at the issue as it was years ago. She says as large as this issue of Kony is, and as very real as the issue of Joseph Kony being out there in the bush is, they have made tremendous strides from what this video that Jason Russell has done shows us in America. She mentioned a lady by the name of Betty, and she said her last name very quickly. I couldn't get it. But she's, very famous in Uganda. She was one of the women that went out into the bush to try to bring Kony out and kind of smoke him out, per se. So when I listen to videos like that, and when I listen to the very concern in her voice, and when I listen to how she feels offended on behalf of her country and where she's from, it really kind of just bugs me, and it rubs me the wrong way. Like I said, I don't have anything against Jason Russell. I think the work that he has done and is doing, and the people that are supporting this campaign, I think it's wonderful that these people have a heart to help other people, that these people have the will to want to go and take that extra mile. But when we cannot do it in our own homes, when we cannot look at our backyards and say, hey, there's some things in our own country that's pretty effed up, and we're not doing anything like this to make it better, I think that's where I get an issue, where I have an issue personally. And I posted something on Facebook that I want to read to you guys. I said, why is it that serious problems, when said by a black face in any other accent other than American, we are rushing to make videos, blogs, vlogs, but when said by the people who live in our neighborhood, we simply say, oh, they ghetto, or see, ain't none but niggas? Is not the cry for help underneath the facade the same? When will America campaign for itself like we do for everyone else? And I think from people that look at America, I'm not going to say that we have the same issues as other countries and other continents, but we have our issues, and they are very drastic issues that affect our economy, that affect our neighborhoods, that affect our people living here. And there aren't other countries coming in by the plane loads trying to help us figure it out and get it together. Not like America will let them, but you know what I'm saying? It's not, it doesn't go both ways. But we're always going to somebody else's home and trying to make their home better and trying to make their people, quote unquote, more civilized. Well, if you ask me, we need some help in that area. So if America's going to be shucking out our troops to as you can tell, I get very upset and passionate that I can barely speak. But one of the things that they say in the video is that we're not sending our troops to war, that we're just sending them as ambassadors to find Kony. Well, this man, Kony, who is the head of the LRS, or LRA rather, which is the Lord's Resistance Army, you cannot tell me that we're not going to send troops out there to find this man and he not retaliate and our troops have to fight. So, yes, you are sending our troops into a war that, again, we don't have anything to do with. And that might sound for some of you very harsh. It might sound like, oh, how dare you say that as an American? But get real. We have issues here that our government and our officials completely ignore. But when it's good media and when it's good TV, they want to send our troops into the line of fire. And I just think that's utterly ridiculous. I was reading on a site, I was looking on Google's news page, and I was on a site called HindustanTimes.com, and I want to read a little bit of this article for you. And it says, though his army once numbered in thousands and sowed fear across northern Uganda, he is now believed to have only a few hundred followers, and much of the armed conflict in the area has subsided. The State Department said on Thursday it appreciated the campaign's effort to quote-unquote shine a light on the horrible atrocities of the LRA, and the American forces were, quote, already very much involved in helping Uganda and the neighboring states to root out Kony, unquote. But spokeswoman Victoria Nuland dismissed suggestions that the United States could take a more direct role in the fight against the LRA. I don't think anybody in the region favors that. What they have asked for is this logistical technical training support, and that is what we are providing, Nolan said, adding that she was not aware of any increase in phone calls or other public pressure on the State Department following the release of the video. Critics of the Invisible Children campaign also said the video oversimplified the situation, created the illusion that posting messages on social media could have a meaningful impact on a long-standing human rights crisis, and ignored the efforts of people on the ground who truly understood the situation. So it is when I read things like that, when I look at videos like this young woman who is from northern Uganda that she posts in response to Jason Russell's video, it just rubs me the wrong way. And I think that it is amazing. Like I said, I don't have anything against Invisible Children. I will support Invisible Children as a nonprofit. I think it's an amazing nonprofit. I will like them on Facebook. I will follow them on Twitter. I think Jason Russell did an amazing job getting people to be involved and being humanitarians. But I think we just need to be very deliberate about the actions that we put into motion, because as I tell my students all the time, our decisions don't just affect us. And it's not just America going into Uganda to fix a problem, because it's not our problem to fix. First and foremost, we weren't asked to go in to quote unquote fix their issue. And so to go in with the right intention, yes, but you have to understand how it looks from the other end. And I think, if anything, from this video, I just want to get people to realize both sides of the story. It's a real issue. Obviously, people are dying and lives are being put on the line. And if you're one of those supporters that you're really not going to get the action kit, you're really not going to go out at sundown and post all these posters, you're just going to like the Facebook page, you're just going to follow them on Twitter and, post these links to the videos. If you're that supporter, then I really want to speak to you specifically. If you're going to participate in the propaganda of these types of campaigns, if you're going to participate in the media frenzy, then I need you not to just blindly support something. Do the research. Go and get some other factual information outside of your friend just posting a link to some video that you watched and it tugged on your heartstrings and you were like, oh my God, I'm so sad. Let me go blast this all over the world. Be wise. Be deliberate. Be intelligent. Oh, that's a novel idea. So like I said, nothing against Invisible Children or Jason Russell. I think that as Americans, oftentimes a lot of the time, we go into other places and we just go in with that S on our chest, like we got all the answers and, we're over here struggling. And I grew up, one thing that my mother always told me, she said, you can't save somebody drowning if you don't know how to swim. And right now, America doesn't know how to swim. And we're trying to save somebody else that's drowning. It might sound harsh, it might sound selfish, but that's just my view on it. So I urge you to go and look at the videos for yourself. If you want to read the article is on www.hindustan.com. I'm sure you can type in Kony 2012 and the article will pop up, or you can go to Google News and it's pretty much at the top of Google News. If you want to subscribe to this video and other videos from the JayeSpot, you can do so by clicking that link up above my head, or post down below. I really want to know your comments, what you think, how you feel about this whole campaign and campaigns like this. And don't forget to visit on thejayespot.com, where you can get all updates on the JayeSpot Talk Show on Blog Talk Radio, and you can get all updates on the JayeSpotTV, which is what you're watching right now. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and I will see you guys later. Remember, life is worth living and everyone deserves to live, and your decisions don't just affect you, so make sure that you're making wise decisions and really looking at your situations from a circular point of view, not just from a linear point of view. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.